Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something that, let's be honest, can feel like a really bewildering landscape. English grammar. And we're zeroing in on, well, those grammatical Bermuda triangles where learners just seem to vanish.
Absolutely. It's true. English has its quirks, but there are three areas that often feel like the ultimate challenge. We're talking verb tenses, articles, and conditionals.
Right.
And these aren't just tiny details, are they? They're more like the engine, the skeleton, the actual logic of the language.
Yeah, the core stuff.
Tenses put us in time, articles define our nouns, and conditionals, well, they open up whole worlds of what if, possibility, speculation, even regret.
And if you've ever stopped mid-sentence thinking, okay, is it I've lost my keys or just I lost my keys, what is the actual difference? Or maybe, why the sun? Wait, you do say the moon, so why the sometimes and not others?
Yeah, that's a classic one.
Or even, what on earth is the third conditional? Does anyone actually use that thing? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely in the right place.
And look, these questions aren't signs you're confused. They're signs of a curious mind really trying to grapple with the system underneath it all.
But the answers you usually get are just lists of rules, maybe some confusing charts.
Exactly. And today, we want to offer a different kind of answer. This isn't going to be like reading a dry textbook.
It is.
It's about a practical, more intuitive exploration. We want to get past the what and really dig into the why. The goal is to help you move from sort of consciously applying a formula.
Yeah, like ticking boxes.
Just intuitively choosing the right way to say it, making it feel natural.
So like having a better map and maybe a brighter flashlight for these tricky areas. I remember trying to explain this awful trip I took. And I kept getting stuck on whether I had lost my passport or just lost it. And then trying to explain which specific crazy taxi driver I meant. It was a mess.
That's a perfect example. Let's use that kind of real communication need as our guide. So where should we start? Maybe the biggest hurdle, English verb tenses.
Yeah, let's do it. The whole 12, or is it 16 tenses thing?
Yeah.
It sounds terrifying.
It does. It feels like this huge, complex maze, and people try to memorize every single tense name and formula, but that's kind of like trying to become a surgeon by just memorizing the names of the tools.
Without knowing what they actually do.
Exactly. You need to know when and why to use each one in a real operation, or in this case, a real conversation.
Okay, so how do we unpack this without just memorizing a phone book? What's the simpler way in?
The real key is to stop thinking about a dozen different tenses. Instead, think about asking yourself two simple, separate questions. First, when did it happen? That gives you the time, past, present, or future. Simple enough.
Okay, when, past, present, future. Got it.
And second, how do I, the speaker, see the action? This is the aspect. Is it simple, continuous, perfect, or perfect, continuous?
Aspect. Okay, how I see it.
Right. And any tense is just putting one of those times together with one of those aspects. So the real magic isn't memorizing 12 names. It's understanding the feeling, the function of those four aspects.
Okay, let's break down those aspects then. What's the feeling of each one? Let's start with simple.
Right. The simple aspect. The feeling here is facts, habits, completed actions, done. Think of it visually like a single dot on a timeline, a complete whole.
So I walked the dog, period. Finished.
Exactly. You're just stating a fact or a completed event, no focus on duration or connection to now.
Okay. Then continuous or progressive?
Yeah. Continuous aspect, feeling, unfinished, in progress, temporary. The visual is more like a wavy line showing it's happening over a period of time.
Like a little video clip.
Precisely. You use it to zoom in, to put your listener inside the action as it's happening. Like right now, you are listening to this deep dive. It's happening now. It's in progress.
Okay, makes sense. Now, the perfect aspect, this is one that trips people up, right? The have done stuff.
It is often the trickiest, yes. But think of the perfect aspect less as a tense and more like a bridge or an arrow.
The bridge?
Yeah, it creates a connection, a bridge between two different points in time. Usually it connects a past action to the present, showing a present result or relevance.
Okay. So I have lost my keys isn't just about the past losing.
It's about the now. The result now is I can't get in my house. The past action has a present consequence. That's the key feeling. Connection to now.
Got it. Connection, bridge, result. Okay. The last one, perfect continuous.
Right. Perfect continuous. Feeling. How long an unfinished action has been happening. The visual might be a wavy line leading up to an arrow.
Yeah.
Duration leading to now.
So emphasizing the length of time.
Exactly. You use it to stress the duration of something that started in the past and is still relevant, often still happening. Like, I have been waiting for an hour. The focus is on that hour of waiting.
Okay, understanding those four aspects, simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous, feels much more manageable than 12 tenses.
It's the foundation.
Yeah.
Now let's use it to tackle that number one point of confusion. Present perfect versus past simple.
Yes, the I have lost versus I lost a battle.
Yeah.
They both talk about the past, right? Why the two options? It's maddening.
It really is. And you hear explanations like present perfect is for unfinished past actions, which honestly is often wrong and just adds confusion.
So what's the real difference using our time and aspect framework?
The real difference isn't primarily when it happened, it's about how the speaker connects it to the present moment. Let's take past simple first. I lost my keys, aspect. Simple, feeling, completed fact. It happened at a specific finished time in the past. It's that single dot on the timeline, firmly in the finished past.
Like yesterday or last week.
Exactly. The time period is over. The story is finished. It's history. If you say, I lost my keys yesterday, the focus is on yesterday, a completed time. Maybe you found them, maybe not. But the focus is on that past event.
Okay, past simple, finished time, historical fact.
Now contrast that with present perfect. I have lost my keys. Aspect, perfect. Feeling, connection between past and present. It's that arrow linking the past event to and now.
The bridge.
The bridge. The key idea is the present result. The story isn't over because it affects now. I have lost my keys means, and now I can't open the door. That's why we use it with unfinished time words like today, this week, ever, never, so far.
So I've lost my keys today implies the problem is still current within today.
Precisely. And here's a quick practical test. Can you add yesterday or last Tuesday or in 2010?
If yes.
Then you must use past simple. I lost my keys yesterday. Correct. I have lost my keys yesterday. Incorrect. Because yesterday is finished time, breaking that connection to now.
Ah, the yesterday test. I like that. So it's really about whether the past event feels sealed off or if it's still casting a shadow on the present moment.
That's a great way to put it. Is it history or is it current news with a past cause? Think about being at a party. Someone asks, have you ever been to Japan?
Present perfect ever refers to my whole life up to now, which is unfinished time.
Exactly. You answer, yes, I have been. You're connecting that past trip to your present self, your experience. But then what's the natural next question?
Oh, really? When did you go?
Right. And now they want a specific finished time. So you switch to past simple. I went in 2019. The lens changes from life experience to historical event.
Okay, that clarifies it hugely. Past simple, finished past history. Present perfect, past action with a present result or relevance. The past now bridge.
You got it. Now let's tackle another common pair. Present simple versus present continuous. Why I live in London versus I am living in London.
Yeah, or the sun rises versus, look, the sun is rising.
Okay, present simple. I live in London. Aspect. Simple, feeling. Facts, habits, routines, things that are generally true or permanent. That dot representing a general truth.
So the sun rises in the east. That's a permanent fact. I play tennis on Saturdays. That's a habit. It's the always tense kind of.
Kind of, yes. Generally true. Now, present continuous. I am living in London. Aspect, continuous, feeling, unfinished, in progress, and often temporary. That wavy line happening around now.
Temporary.
Wow.
Ah, so I am living in London suggests it's not permanent, like for a year maybe.
Exactly. It signals a temporary situation. Maybe you're a student or on a contract, and look, the sun is rising. You're describing the action as it happens right now. It's in progress. Temporary in the sense that it won't be rising all day. It's the now tense.
So simple for permanent facts and habits, always. Continuous for temporary actions happening now. Now.
That's the core difference. And we should briefly mention those tricky stative verbs.
Right, verbs like know, believe, love, own, seem.
Yeah. These describe states or conditions, not dynamic actions. You don't usually say, I am knowing the answer, or she is seeming happy.
Because you can't really be in the middle of knowing something. You just know it or you don't.
Precisely. They describe a state, so they usually stick with the simple aspect. I know, she seems.
Okay. Present simple for always. Present continuous for now. Watch out for stative verbs. Got it. What about the really intimidating one? Past perfect. The had done thing.
Ah, yes, the past in the past. What is I had done and when do I actually need it? People often overuse it or avoid it completely.
It feels very formal or complicated.
It can sound that way, but the concept is actually quite straightforward. Think of it simply as the past of the past.
Past of the past.
Yes. You generally only need it when you are already telling a story using the past simple, and you need to refer back to something that happened even earlier than that story's time frame.
Okay, so it's about sequence in the past.
Exactly. The aspect is perfect. Remember showing a connection between two times. Here, it's connecting two different times, both in the past. Imagine a point in the past with an arrow pointing to an even earlier point.
This sounds like that two past events rule you mentioned.
It is. You need it when you have two past actions and you want to make the sequence absolutely clear. Let's say, Event 1, I finished my homework. Event 2, my friend called. Both happened yesterday.
Okay.
You could say, I finished my homework and then my friend called. The word then clarifies the order.
Right.
But using past perfect, you'd say, when my friend called, I had already finished my homework. The had finished clearly signals that the homework completion happened before the call without needing then. It sets the timeline.
So it avoids ambiguity when the order isn't obvious from context.
Precisely. But here's the common mistake. Using it when there's only one past event mentioned. Saying, I had finished my homework yesterday just sounds wrong or overly dramatic.
There's no earlier past event to relate it to.
Exactly. If it's just one event yesterday, use past simple. I finished my homework yesterday. Keep it simple.
Okay, so past perfect.
Yeah.
Only needed when telling a past story, and you need to clearly reference an earlier past event to show the sequence.
Yeah.
The past.
You've got it. Don't use it unless you really need to clarify that sequence.
Okay, tenses feel a bit less like a monster now. Thinking time plus aspect really helps. But what about those tiny words that cause so much trouble? Articles. A and
They're articles, the nuts and bolts, as you call them. They seem small, but boy, can they be tricky, especially if your first language doesn't have them.
like Russian or Japanese. Yeah, it feels like this secret code you just have to guess.
But it's not guessing. There is a logic. The key is shifting your perspective. Stop thinking about grammar rules. Start thinking about your listener.
My listener?
How so?
Your choice of article a and the or nothing is a signal. You're telling your listener something about the status of the noun you're about to say. Specifically, you're answering one core question.
Which is
my listener thinking about the same specific thing that I am thinking about?
oh, interesting. Shared knowledge.
Exactly. If the answer is no, maybe you're introducing something new, something general, then you'll likely use an, or no article for plurals and countables. It's indefinite.
Okay, no means AAN or nothing.
But if the answer is yes, you both know exactly which one you mean, then you use the H. It's definite.
Yes means THE. Okay, that feels like a starting point. Let's break down AAN first, the indefinite ones.
Right. AAN. You use these when the noun is singular, countable, and non-specific. Think of it as the introduction tool. You're saying, here is one example from a whole group of similar things. You don't know which specific one yet.
The one of many rule. Like, I saw a dog. Just some dog. Not a specific one we both know.
Precisely. Or she is an engineer. One person among many engineers. I need a pen. Any pen will do.
And the A versus AN thing is just about the sound that comes next, right? Not the letter.
Correct. A car, C sound, but an apple, a sound. A university, we sound, but an hour, silent H, ow sound, based purely on the initial sound of the next word.
Okay, now THE, the definite article, the verbal pointing finger, you said.
That's a good way to think of it. You use the E when the noun is specific, and you believe your listener knows exactly which one you're referring to.
How do they know?
Several ways. The most common is, it's already been mentioned, the second mention rule.
Like your dog example. I saw a dog. The dog was chasing a ball. First mention A, second mention they.
Perfect. Another way, it's unique. There's only one in the context.
Like the sun, the moon, the internet, or even in a shared space like the kitchen in our house.
Exactly. The only one rule. Third way, it's defined or specified by the rest of the sentence. The specification rule.
Ah, like the movie that I saw last night. The phrase that I saw last night tells us which movie.
Precisely. Or, can you pass me the salt? Implying the one on the table near us. Or, the book on the table. The extra words pinpoint which one.
Okay, so mentioned before, unique or specified by other words. That covers most of the uses.
Those are the big three. There's also a slightly fuzzier one. Shared general knowledge or cultural context. Like saying, I need to go to the bank or the post office. We mean the general institution or the one we usually use. Or listening to the radio.
All right, we understand which concept or local place is meant. Okay, but what about when we use nothing, zero article? That's the really mysterious one.
It feels like something's missing, doesn't it? But zero article has a clear function, too. You use it mainly for plural nouns and uncountable nouns when you're talking about them generally. Think pug, plural, uncountable, general.
So not a specific instance, but the concept as a whole.
Exactly. Like love is important, uncountable general concept. Coffee is my favorite drink, uncountable general concept. Dogs are friendly animals, plural, general concept. I like reading books, plural, general concept.
But if I wanted to talk about a specific love or specific dogs,
Then this comes back. Compare love is important, general, versus the love he felt for her, specific love. Or coffee is great, general, versus the coffee you made this morning was amazing, specific coffee.
and dogs are friendly, general, versus the dogs that live next door bark all night, specific dogs.
You've got it. General concept, zero article for plurals uncountables, specific instance, the H-A-A-N if singular in first mention.
Are there other times for zero article, like place names?
Yes, there are some categories, often needing a bit of memorization, unfortunately. Most countries, France, Brazil, Japan, but exceptions like the USA, the UK, the Netherlands, cities, streets, lakes usually take no article, London, Oxford Street, Lake Geneva.
Okay. And meals, languages, school subjects?
Generally zero article too. I
Yeah.
had breakfast, she speaks French, he studies mathematics.
Right. So it seems complex, but that core question helps. Does my listener know which one? And then considering if it's general or specific.
Exactly. Let's try putting it into a quick decision-making flowchart. You have a noun. Ask yourself, 1, am I talking about this thing in general? E.g., books are great, information is key.
If
Zero article. If plural or uncountable,
Okay, if and no, it's specific or singular.
then ask. 2, is it a single countable thing I'm introducing for the first time? E.g., I need a new phone.
If yes.
Use AAN.
Okay, if and no, it's not the first mention or it's plural uncountable but specific.
Then ask. 3, do my listener and I both know exactly which one I mean? Because it's unique, already mentioned, specified, or shared context.
And if yes,
Use the HE.
okay. That sequence general. First mention singular. Shared specific knowledge. Feels like a logical path, not just guessing.
That's the goal. Moving from guessing to a communicative choice based on shared understanding.
All right. Tenses, articles. Now for the third gauntlet. The world of what if. Let's dive into English conditionals.
Conditionals, yes, the language of logic, imagination, possibility, and sometimes regret. These are typically sentences with 2 parts. The condition, usually starting with if, and the result.
People often just try to memorize the formulas, right? Is plus this tense, then that tense.
They do, and that's where they get bogged down. Like the tenses, it's much better to understand the feeling and the level of reality behind each conditional type first.
Yeah.
We can actually organize them pretty neatly based on how real they are.
Okay, reality level. Let's start with the most real one.
That would be the zero conditional. We call it the always true conditional. It's function, general truth, scientific facts, things that always happen under certain conditions.
Feeling. 100% reality. Fact.
Exactly. The structure is if plus present simple, present simple.
Like if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. That's just science.
Precisely. Or a personal truth. If I don't drink coffee, I get a headache. It always happens. Notice both verbs are present simple because we're stating timeless facts. You can often swap if for when here. When you heat water.
Okay, zero conditional, 100% real facts, present plus present. Easy enough. What's next down the reality ladder?
The first conditional. This is the real possibility conditional. Function. Talking about a real possible situation in the future.
Feeling, still pretty real, but future, so not 100%. Maybe like 50% or more chance.
Good way to think of it, yes. High probability. The structure. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. If it rains tomorrow, we will cancel the picnic. It might rain, it's a real possibility. If you study hard, you will pass the exam, a likely outcome.
And you can flip it, right? We'll cancel the picnic if it rains tomorrow.
Absolutely. Now, the common mistake learners make.
Putting will in the if part, like if it will rain.
Exactly. That's incorrect. The if clause just sets the condition using present simple, if it rains. The result clause uses will for the future prediction. We will cancel.
Got it. First conditional. Real future possibility. If plus present. Will plus verb. Still quite grounded in reality now. Things get less real.
Now we step into the imaginary. The second conditional, the unreal or imaginary conditional. This one causes headaches.
Tell me about it. This is the if I won the lottery one, right?
That's the classic example. Its function is for hypothetical or imaginary situations in the present or future, things that are impossible or just very unlikely. Also used for giving advice.
Feeling, imagination, dreamland, low probability, maybe less than 1%.
Yeah, often zero, practically speaking, the structure. If plus past simple, would plus base verb.
Examples. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. Imaginary future. If I had more time, I would learn guitar. Imaginary present situation.
And for advice, if I were you, I would talk to the boss. Note the where, if I were you, is standard for advice. Even though I is singular, it signals unreality.
Okay, but here's the part that always got me. Why the past simple, won, had, were, if we're talking about the present or future? It feels like a time warp.
It does feel weird, but it's a clever grammatical signal. The past simple here has nothing to do with past time. It's a code. It signals distance from reality.
Distance from reality, yes.
By using a past tense form, the grammar is telling the listener, warning, what follows is not real. We are stepping away from the present reality into an imaginary scenario. Think of it as past tense, unreal situation in this context.
So compare. If I have enough money, I will buy it. First, conditional real possibility. Versus, if I had enough money, I would buy it. Second, conditional unreal, I don't have it. The past tense had just marks it as imaginary.
Exactly. It's a marker of unreality. That's its job here.
Okay, that actually helps. Past tense signals not real. Second conditional, imaginary present future. If plus past simple, would plus verb. Now, the final step down. The truly impossible.
The third conditional, the impossible past or regret conditional function. Imagining a different past, talking about how things could have been different for a situation that's already finished and cannot be changed.
So pure speculation about the past, often with regret, feeling, 0% reality. Totally impossible now.
Totally. The structure, if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
Okay, break that down. If I had studied harder, imaginary past condition using past perfect.
I would have passed the exam. Imaginary past result using would have plus past participle. The reality, didn't study, didn't pass. You're looking back and imagining the alternative past.
Or, if we had left earlier, we would not have missed our flight. Reality. Left late, missed flight. Pure past speculation.
Exactly. Past perfect in the if clause creates the imaginary past scenario. Would have plus past participle shows the imaginary result in that alternative past.
And you mentioned mixed conditionals briefly.
Yes, that's more advanced. It's usually mixing an imaginary past condition, third conditional if clause, with an imaginary present result, second conditional result clause.
Like, if I had taken that job, imaginary past, I would be rich now, imaginary present result.
Perfect example. If plus past perfect, would plus base verb, you're linking a past unreality to a present unreality.
Wow. Okay, so let's recap that ladder of reality.
100% real facts. If you heat ice, it melts. Present. 50% real, possible future. If it rains, I will take an umbrella. Present will plus verb. 1% real, imaginary present future. If I were rich, I would travel. Past simple would plus verb. 0% real, impossible past regret. If I had known, I would have helped. Past perfect, would have plus PP.
Understanding that progression from real fact to pure past regret makes choosing the right one seem much more about meaning than just matching tenses.
That's exactly it. It's about expressing precisely how real or unreal you view the situation.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Tenses, articles, conditionals. Understanding the why is huge. But knowing is one thing. Actually using this stuff correctly and naturally is another. How do we bridge that gap? How do we get to mastery?
Great question. Understanding is crucial, but it's only half the journey. Turning that knowledge into an intuitive skill requires practice, but maybe not just any practice.
What do you mean?
Well, first, you need to adopt a noticing mindset. Become a grammar detective in your everyday English exposure.
So when I'm reading an article or listening to something,
don't just let the grammar wash over you. Actively notice it. Ask yourself, they used present perfect there. Why? What's the connection to now? Or, okay, that's a second conditional. What imaginary situation are they setting up?
So consciously looking for these structures and asking why.
Yes. It builds your internal pattern recognition far better than just doing abstract exercises. You see the grammar in action, serving a purpose.
Okay, notice more. What else?
Second, learn in meaningful chunks, not just isolated rules. Don't just memorize third conditional. If plus past perfect would have plus PP.
What should I do instead?
Memorize powerful, maybe even personal example sentences that use the structure. Instead of the formula, burn this into your brain. If I'd known you were coming, I'd have baked a cake.
Learn the whole phrase, the pattern.
Exactly. And personalize it. Think of a real regret or situation in your life. If I hadn't spent so much money last month, I could go on vacation now. That's a mixed one. Or if I had studied Japanese more, I would have understood that movie better. Making it personal makes it stick.
Learn personalized chunks. I like that. Third,
Targeted, deliberate practice. Find or create exercises that specifically force you to choose between the tricky pairs. Don't just do random grammar drills.
like an exercise that's only past simple versus present perfect choices.
Precisely. Or one that's only first versus second conditional. Make yourself confront the specific distinction you struggle with. You could even create your own practice. Write about a past event, past simple, then reflect on its present relevance, present perfect. Describe a picture live, present continuous, then state general facts about it, present simple.
Okay, focus practice on the pain points.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And finally,
Finally, and this is maybe the most crucial, the output and feedback loop. You absolutely have to try using these structures yourself and then find out if you got it right.
so actually speaking or writing.
Yes. For writing, challenge yourself. Write a short paragraph deliberately using, say, the third conditional to talk about a past regret. Then get feedback. Post it on a language learning forum, show it to a teacher or a native speaker friend.
And for speaking.
Find a language partner or a tutor. And don't just chat randomly, set a goal for the conversation. Say, hey, today, can we talk about hypothetical situations? I really want to practice my second conditional. Focused output followed by correction and feedback. That's how you internalize it.
Notice, learn chunks, practice deliberately, and get feedback on your output. Okay,
Look, these big challenges, tenses, articles, conditionals, they aren't just random hurdles English throws at you. They're part of an interconnected system. A system based on some pretty intuitive ideas, actually.
like the speaker's view of time.
The shared knowledge between people talking.
And that line between what's real and what's imagined.
Exactly. Too often, grammar feels like this external set of rules you have to obey. But fluency isn't about memorizing every rule or never making a mistake.
It's more about understanding the underlying logic.
Yes, and having the confidence to use these structures to express your meaning, even if it's not perfect at first. By reframing tenses as time plus aspect, articles as signals about shared knowledge, and conditionals as that ladder of reality.
We've hopefully given you a new map.
A new map, exactly. It won't magically remove all the tricky terrain, but hopefully it means you won't feel completely lost. You can navigate with more logic, more purpose,
Right.
more confidence.
The gauntlet is still there, but maybe it looks a little less terrifying now.
Let's hope so. You're equipped to face it.
So the final thought for you listening right now. As you go about your day, how will you start noticing that hidden logic? How will you spot the why behind the grammar you hear and read today?